not okay.
Because I really need it. Like,
can we have the fan in here at all?
Maybe too much. It's who knows.
Too noise.
It's horrific.
I just need it there. Right there. Am I all right, branded up? I was teaching this morning and just came straight here, but I did grab a top.
Yeah, no worries.
Good.
Well, some of us did our hair and makeup, but you know.
Hey, I've been to Mobs. I'm looking brown.
Yeah, I was
it's
going to say,
perfect
like,
timing.
honestly.
Perfect timing on the tan.
Also sloppy seconds as well, so you just...
Totally. I weren't even meant to be here. I'm only here because someone... Who let you down?
Harvey with the cowboy hat.
Oh.
I love how you're now like Harvey with the hat.
Harvey with the hat. That's how
Well, yeah. I'll just jump in for sloppy seconds.
Rolling. We are rolling, so...
I'm always sloppy
Please tell me
seconds.
that was all recorded.
That's all recorded.
Perfect.
It's all recorded, yeah.
There we go, I was here.
And this is how I'm starting the podcast, right? So you know.
I'm sloppy seconds.
Yeah, you told her.
I'm going to do a TikTok. There's a Sabrina Carpenter's new one.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here for that song.
Stupid. Useless. When, how you're made to feel when you're sloppy seconds at a podcast is. Oh.
Are you sticking around?
I am, but I might leave halfway through, and I'm sorry if I do, I'm not being rude. No, I'm here.
It's okay, she'll have just melted onto the floor by the end of it.
Sloppy seconds, no one to banter with.
I'll
it's
be here,
fine.
I promise. I was meant to leave at 3, but I'm so desperate to see you. There we go.
She was so keen to be in your TikTok.
Oh, we're like full view. The thighs are in and everything. Shit.
I know, I really regretted my
I feel like I'm interrupting. I feel like I'm interrupting a general chat here.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're cool. It's just interesting. Like,
well,
how many other podcasts start with sloppy seconds and you can see my whole body? You know.
When you're a woman of a certain age, when you're a menopausal woman of a certain age, like about to hit 50, the thighs are twice the size that they used to be. The gut overhangs my uniform now. The only thing holding me together today is the tan.
I thought it was because you were going to wet yourself or something midway.
Oh, the sweat generally congregates around the crotch area, so that's always a bonus as
Keep
well.
the legs hanging there.
If you like, just
Do I
pull
need
the
to?
mic towards
Yeah,
you.
I was probably keeping that at a distance
For a
for a reason.
What has this podcast become, Anne-Marie? What have you done?
When you invite sloppy seconds on, this is what you get.
Oh, I love it. See, I think I'm going to be nice and say I think for a lot of people who are, you know, edging 50 are going to be like, what is she on about? She looks absolutely fantastic and absolutely lovely, and, you know, you shouldn't worry
thanks,
about
Ed.
that.
You're only clawing that back because you...
Yeah, I have got to, haven't I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have. Yeah, because
you're
I
the
wasn't...
replacement.
Because I wasn't the first choice.
Never going to live that down.
No, never.
Never going to live that. Oh, cool. So what were you doing today then? That, you know, before you came along to join us.
Well, I still teach. So I was teaching my 2 classes this morning. I had my tots class, toddler class at 10, and I had my babies class at 11:10. And then I, you know, just jumped in the car and drove straight to you, Ed.
Amazing.
I know.
Amazing. Are you still enjoying doing that? Because, like, you talk about the menopause and all that sort of stuff. Surely that's going to have a physical toll, and sort of jumping around with, like,
it's actually the best
toddlers.
thing for me. So lots of people ask me about still teaching and why, as the franchisor, do I do that?
Yeah.
Because one, you have to play to your strengths, and I'm not sure I'd have a franchise network if I was solely responsible for support and admin and any of, especially not financials. So I play to my strengths because I love the teaching. Also, it means that in a creative franchise, especially in a dance one, I'm still on the front line, as it were. So I'm the one, whenever we create something new or work on a new dance style, or when we develop the babies classes, I'm the one doing it. I'm not sat in an office going, oh, this sounds like a good idea. I think I'll just, let's do this, and then tell all the network to do it. I'm there testing it myself first. I love what I do. And I think for me, something that I talk about a lot is how moving to music is so good for our mental health.
Yeah.
And I think if I weren't teaching, so during the pandemic, for example, I had to keep teaching. I had to keep moving because for me, not just physically now in the menopause where everything swells, I'd hate to think the size I might be if I wasn't teaching, but also for my mental health as well. The hormones, your estrogen is so responsible for your brain function that I think being physically active as well really helps actually women of my age.
what's the best part? Is it the teaching or is it the being active?
Both, because I work with under fives, and for me, I know I'm going to be biased, but as a dance teacher, I have taught all ages. I used to teach for Stagecoach, I used to teach for Theatre Train, I taught for some really big dance schools as well, so adult classes, everything. But for me, the under fives are the most rewarding.
Right.
They're just hilarious. And I think because we're set lesson plans and even though we change dance styles every half term, so elements do change, but you need that consistency for this age group, that it could be a little bit monotonous or a little bit boring, but when you're working with under fives, you never get two classes the same. So being physically active is important, but working with this age group, they're just hilarious. They're just brutally honest, and they'll say what they think, they'll do what they think. There's nothing like being humbled when you're there giving it your all in class. So much energy. We're doing rave at the moment. Big
Nice.
fish, little fish, cardboard box. And they're just in the corner fiddling with a doorstop. We're like, "Hey, hello, giving it my all. No, you're going to completely ignore me." Or fiddle with the chain on the door. It's like, okay, thanks very much. And that was quite a bonus.
So I've heard you say before, they say some crazy things to you, don't they? Like when you've done lots of TikToks where I can't think of what they are, but can you think of give an example?
Oh, the grey hair.
Yeah.
That gets pointed out quite a lot. One of them, she said in the nicest possible way, she was only just 2, and she's like, "Your hair, it looks like my grandma's." Oh, thanks so much.
Brilliant, isn't it?
Feeling really great about myself now. Wonderful. But I think what I was going to say is when we did have to do the classes online, I know a lot of the franchisees like freaked out, were like, "Oh my God, I need kids in class to give me that energy." Whereas for me, it was quite the opposite. I was like, I have this blank screen because in my head, I can imagine there's thousands of toddlers and they're all actually joining in. And that's quite a bonus. And then you go back into classes and the reality hits where one's rolling around on the floor, one's picking their nose. And
it was probably that parents trying to drag them in front of the screen and come on.
Yeah, whereas
like-
actually I didn't have to face that. So it was just like I could just imagine that, I'm on stage and everybody's calling my name. Yeah.
So I think there's a lot to be learnt from being around kids. Like, even if it's how you interact with kids, I find that I learn a lot from how I interact with my kids at home, sort of thing. Like, in how I talk to them and seeing their responses, I'm like, okay, that is not the right way to encourage them or get them to do what you want. There's a different way to do it, kind of thing. And then I learn from that. So, what for you, being around under fives, what's been like the most important lesson you've learnt from them?
Well, I started the franchise back in 2003, so it was before I became a parent myself. And I think I'd always taught older children, so it was always quite, not harshly, but disciplined. It was, do this and do that. And when I started working with under fives, you soon realise they don't engage that way. It's, they find in their independence and they're like, "Sorry, you're going to try and tell me what to do." That ain't going to happen. And then through lots of courses and through, learning more and educating myself more, I soon realised that actually the best way to engage with them is completely different to how I've ever taught before. So then where I'm really like, "Oh, can we do this? Who can do this? Shall we do this?" helped me understand a lot more patience, helped me understand a better way of communicating. So then when I did become a mum, I probably still didn't do any of that, actually. Yeah, I'd love to say that really moulded me as a parent, but you're sleep deprived and you've got hormones going on all over the place. So patience probably isn't a big thing. But as they got older, I did try, and lots of child psychology stuff that I've done as well, I do try and understand them better now. But it still makes me laugh when lots of people talk to me about my kids when they were little coming into class, and I was like, you almost got to think of me as like Jekyll and Hyde, because I'd be like, "Hi everyone, how are you? Can you do this? Don't you dare move, I will kill you." No, I wouldn't say that. But there was a hilarious moment. We used to do these big Christmas parties and my kids would come and they'd help me set up, and they were a little bit older and it was lovely, and I'd be at the front leading it. And I used to do it with one of my franchisees in Bexley. and we'd have this really long call, and my kids would be at the back, and I could see them out the corner of my eye starting to mess around, and I'd literally look at Jane going, go and sort them out and carry on. So I just think it's a very different dynamic still. Your kids, I love how other kids listen to me, and so at the end of the class it might be that they're refusing to put their shoes on, they don't want to put their coat on, they don't want to get in the buggy, and I'll be like, oh, should we get our coat on, let's see how quick we can do it, and the parent looks at me like, oh, thank you, and I'm like, it's fine, my kids don't listen to me, but everybody else's do, so I'm happy with that.
See, I think that there's a few things there about kids not listening to their parents, but they listen to other people. I think I reckon sometimes franchisees are like that, right? And I know we've got a franchisee in the room, so I won't look at her when I'm saying that. But like they franchisees generally don't listen to the franchisor a lot of the time. They're like, well, who are you?
So you mean like
but
the franchisor can tell them something over
like
and over again, and then someone new can come in and tell them exactly the same thing, and they listen.
But it's
and
the same
brand new information
in any partnership, I think, as well. Because like, I can say something to my wife, she can teach me, she tell me something, I'll be like, whatever. Somebody external says, oh, we tried this. Oh, it's a good idea. Yeah, I'll do that. I think that's a lesson to be learned, isn't it? When you see kids, that's something you can learn from kids, because it's in all of us.
100%. I just think it's human nature, and I think the longer I've been a franchisor, the more that you just understand that is human nature, and you can communicate in all different formats. But at the end of the day, if you can bring someone in as well to reinforce any message that you've got or any bit of content that you want to educate them on, that it's just human nature and you can't take it personally. It's just
totally.
what happens.
I think actually, Emma, what do you think about that? Like, I'm putting that on you, like, in this as the franchisee in the room.
Yeah.
Like, do you think you listen to your franchisor as much as you should?
Well, my franchisor isn't the lovely Anne-Marie.
I love that answer. You can
Mine's a lot of different people.
Yeah.
So depending who is saying it to me, yes, I would listen to them. But yeah, that's where the challenge comes if you've got a head office that's quite big. So it's a bit tricky to answer it. But depending who's saying it to me, based on their experience, the thing is, I'm only 3 years in, so everyone's more experienced than me. You'll be hard pressed to find someone who's not. So I actually am really open to taking that advice, because I just think you've got more years under your belt in this, and actually this is a learning curve for me.
I think that's something, as all business owners, though, we can learn, isn't it, to listen to other people better.
communicate better as well. I don't even think it's just the franchisees down to their listening. I think it's down to how we communicate and how that changes as a society. When you look at the phone use, digital media, when you look at social media, we all consume things in a different way now. So I can write a long ass email giving them loads of information, but they'll probably read the first couple of paragraphs. And it's the same to the franchisees, it's the same to customers, it's the same to schools and nurseries. You've got to keep things short and sweet now. If you can communicate to them, I try and send people voice notes now, or I try and record videos, shock horror, to my network, because they just respond to it better, they absorb it better. So it's down to us as franchisors as well to explore every way of communicating, depending on how society changes.
There's a difficult balance, isn't there, though, between communicating too much to give everybody an option. So you might send a video, an email, text message, WhatsApp group.
Yeah, this isn't one-to-one service here, no.
No, but you communicate in all these different ways to allow people to be able to absorb it in the way that suits them best. The problem is people then get kind of message blind, don't they? So I get this with my kids' school. You get a text message, emails, you get like all sorts of stuff coming through, and I'm like, I can't keep up with all this. I don't. Yeah. And so I miss things because it's information overload. So
I'm the same.
It's got to be a difficult balance from your side to know what level of messaging and what style of messaging suits your group the best, right?
Yeah, and I think we've sort of got it there now. I mean, I say that there's still people that, still lots of them that I chase probably about 10 times. Go, remember, we've got our conference coming up and we do internal awards. Remember how I asked you for a month ago that nominate yourself for this, or nominate your teacher, or I need your votes so we do the most supportive franchisee Diddy Dude Award, and I go, I need your 2 names, just
Yeah.
10 seconds. Send me 2 names of who's the most supportive to you in the network. And yeah, some people I can chase up 10, 15 times. And I do try on email and then on Messenger and then send a little voice note. And yeah, so you still figure it out. And sometimes it's just catching them at the wrong time, or they're busy, they're distracted. I know with me, if I'm busy doing something, that phone is glued to my hand and I might glance at it, think I've absorbed it, and then it's completely gone out of my head and I forget to respond to them. So there's all of that understanding as well.
If it doesn't go into my calendar, it's not happening.
Yeah.
For me, it's just I used to think I had fairly good memory with stuff, but no, apparently not. Apparently it's awful.
And I do try and get people to email me, because you can highlight your email as unread, whereas I can't. You're probably going to tell me I can now. I can't do that on a WhatsApp.
I've got no idea. You're
Good.
speaking to the wrong
Okay.
person.
So yeah, someone WhatsApps me or sends me a message. If I can't physically mark that or highlight that so that I can come back to it, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. I've moved on. Yeah.
Cool. Well, not so cool, but yeah.
Not so cool, because I can miss certain things, but yeah.
So you talked about the music in the classes change fairly regularly. What sort of music does it go through? Because I'm interested. Like, is your background's professional dancing, right? Like
Yeah.
proper. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That puts in my head kind of, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if this is the best term. Posh
Yeah.
music, but do you know what I mean? Like,
I was wondering where we're going there. Lots of people
got
would
classical
like,
music.
look at me. They look at me and they go professional dancer, and they say Pan's people. I go, how old do you think I am? Wondered where you were going there. So I trained in ballet and contemporary. So I graduated in the 90s from Northern Contemporary Dance School, and I was lucky enough to perform all over the world. I was in a contemporary dance company based at Royal Opera House for about 18 months. I did pop videos, did the Brit Awards, did Top of the Pops.
Yeah, you
music
said you was on
videos.
Ash, didn't you, or something? On
Yeah,
Top of the
Burn
Pops?
Baby Burn. If you check out that music
I
video.
would have watched it back then and been.
Oh, my husband did. It was a big,
Yeah, enjoying
it was
it.
a good pulling line, that one. And but you won't recognise me because I had a blunt fringe and long dark hair. I look completely different. But yeah, that was a great one. I did Chicane with Bryan Adams that went to #1. Don't Give Up. I was in that video, but we were all sort of masked out. There's a few close-ups of me, and I think you can sort of make it out there. So I've got used to loads of different music, loads of different styles of dance, and I think it was that when I started diddidance, it was about not everybody likes every style of music or every style of dance, so it was about giving them just a little snippet of a different dance style every half term. So we have all our music originally written for us, just easy on commercial things, but at the moment we're doing rave. We just did salsa, we do hip hop, we do Charleston, we do reggae, jive, ballroom, everything, so that all children just get to explore it a little bit, and then if they love it and they want to carry on, they'll go off and go to a more disciplined dance school or Stagecoach or something else then.
Yeah, cool. What's your favourite music?
Oh,
Or who are you listening to on the way over here?
well, I'm going to say this now, my kids, it's going to give them the ick. I'm quite down with the kids, I think. I do still listen to the charts. I enjoy a bit of...
Loving Apatow at the minute.
little bit of Taylor Swift. I'm loving, a bit of Sabrina Carpenter. Billie Eilish's new one's good. But I still... My classic music has got to be sort of 90s dance music. You give me some old school dance tracks and I will sing my heart out at the top
What
of
sort
my
of thing
lungs.
is that? So that brings up in my head, I had a cassette tape,
Yeah.
100% dance, and it had things like Mr. Wendell on there and Too Unlimited.
Yeah, so
Think-
like that. I love a bit De La Soul, all into that. But you give me Candy Stanton or You Got the Love. My favourite song of all time is a song called Shine On by Degrees in Motion. I'm not going to sing it, but it is your classic hands in the air, 90s dance. Think DJs like Pete Tong, Joe Mahili that remixed
Oh,
it
okay,
all.
yeah.
Happy House, Gospel Soul, Gokwan does some great events, and he plays all that sort of old school dance music.
Oh, okay. So
It's
maybe that's more. So in my head, it's like Sandstorm by Darude and things like that.
not as
No.
electronic. Think more like. Oh God. Sometimes I feel like throwing my hands up in the air. That sort of thing. You're gonna wanna high me after that. I know. I was a little bit nervous, singer in the room. That's embarrassing.
Love it.
But-
Yeah, jazz singer in the room. Yeah.
I was like, make that the best you can.
That was good. That was good.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Yeah. I was Dave Pearce dance anthems is what I used to listen to
Yes.
that time.
Yes.
I used to enjoy that, and then Oasis and that kind of stuff back then.
Yeah,
but-
my husband's massive Oasis fan. He's seen them like, I don't know, 15 times. He's got all the merchandise. We've got every limited edition album, cassette, vinyl going. He's a massive fan, and he didn't get tickets the first time around. And it was quite a tense household for quite a while because we were all on trying to get them. Friends of ours got them. And then they did a second round the other week, production tickets, and he managed to get one. So he's going with our friends. One of their friends has got a spare ticket now, so my son's going as well. Yeah, so they're big fans.
Cool. Yeah. I've never been that into a band that I'm like completely obsessed with them.
He gets obsessed with it. He's a Spurs fan as well. So anything, he goes hyper focused on things. Yeah. But then I can't say anything.
Shouldn't
I
be
do
a
the
Spurs
same.
fan, should he? Really? Right.
Well, no, that's he once he commits to something, he commits to it.
That's
Fair
it,
play
yeah.
to him. Do you know what I mean? He's not a glory hunter. He's not going flitting around. That is, and it's it's paid off. 17 years, got a trophy.
Is that how he stuck with you for so long? Sorry, I had to say it. You teed me up.
He's like, she's annoying, she's a nightmare, but I've stuck with her now.
Yeah,
I've committed.
stuck. I've
There's no
committed.
getting out of it. Thanks, Ed. Yeah, I'm starting to
I
question
feel like
my
I just take the
marriage
piss
now.
out of you a lot.
Everyone does. It's fine.
Are you comfortable with that though? Like people taking the mickey and
Yeah, because I feel like I'm the biggest person to do it first. And whether that is I've never psychoanalyzed myself, but whether that's a defense mechanism where I think I may as well be the first one to take the mick out myself and be funny, or whether it's a attention need of let's be funny and let's get attention, I don't know. But I'm really comfortable with that. If you've seen half of my TikToks, you've just got to make everything light-hearted, make everything funny, so that you can just relate to people. I think as humans we relate to people that are funny and can be a little bit light-hearted and take the mick out of themselves. I think they're the most people that I get on with.
Yeah.
Anyway, someone's a bit too serious or take something a bit too seriously, I'm a bit like...
some of the most fun times at work. Well, back when I was putting up marquees years ago, I tell everybody that, right? That's where I started out. But it would be one of my friends would say something or other, and then it'd just go straight into your mum jokes, and it would go horrifically graphic and horrible. But it was a laugh because we just take the mickey out of each other and accept it, and it was just our way of bonding and connecting and communicating.
Absolutely, and
I
I'm
think
so
it's-
pleased my kids have got that as well. They can really make light of situations. My daughter especially, she's got this brilliant self-deprecating sense of humour. It's really, really funny because she, in the loveliest way, she's a lovely singer and she's a brilliant actress, but she's got no dance genes. I don't know how I go first to that, but she's so funny about it, and like her friends at Stagecoach, they go, Lily, that's great, but you still realise you've got no rhythm. Or even, and this really isn't a bad thing, but even one of her dance teachers, they were just doing some balancing work and they just had to stand on one leg that she couldn't do. And they went, but Lily, your mum's a dance teacher.
Yeah, come on.
So I'm glad that they have got that as well, because I actually think it gets you somewhere in life. If you don't take yourself too seriously, I feel you can deal with a lot of things.
I think it helps to attract people to you. So I think it's an important skill in business to have that approachability, and you've got that in buckets with the going out there and just being yourself and being silly and not minding and absorbing it and thinking, I don't care what other people think about me doing the splits, whatever, and all this, whatever But it's good that you can do that, and I think it took a while for me to get out of the mindset of an employee. Like, a lot of the time, you're kind of quite defensive, and you just try and do what you're supposed to be doing. To them, now I'm in the franchising industry and setting up my own business, I felt like I could be free to be myself, and I do feel like me just wearing whatever I want, saying whatever I want, not too worried about who I'm upsetting a lot of the times, not trying to upset people, but it does make other people want to talk to me. I've had people reach out and saying, it's just so refreshing that you actually talk like that about stuff like this, like
100%.
And it's not so serious, and it's you're adding a bit of light to the situation. And I think it's really important. I
think it's when you get quite comfortable as well. I've been in franchising now. Well, I started the company 22 years ago, but I've been franchising probably about 18 years. And I remember turning up to lots of events and just, I wasn't myself because I was so nervous about all these people that are a lot older than me and a lot more experienced and a lot more knowledgeable. I don't want to come across that I don't know anything because I'm a franchisor. I should have all the answers. I should know what I'm doing. And then as you meet other people and you realise everyone's winging it to a certain extent, but you're all learning, and I think that's an important thing to shout about, that we never stop learning, that we shouldn't stand still, we should keep evolving in business, that you start then to go to the events and you go, actually I didn't know that. Oh great, I've learnt something today, and that's quite refreshing to do. And then the more comfortable you feel doing that, I think the more opens the floodgates, and then you end up just going, I don't care, I don't know what I'm doing. And it can be, I think it, through my role with EWIF, encouraging women into franchising, I've been the London regional chair for over 10 years now, and so through that I do speak to lots of new franchisors or people wanting to franchise their business, and I think a lot of them come to me because they know I'm going to be very honest and quite refreshing in that, and I'm going to tell them, actually I didn't know this, and I still don't feel confident knowing that, or I'm not good at this, and they're like, oh, okay. So immediately when you talk to someone, you feel their shoulders drop, you feel the barriers come down, and you can have a really honest, authentic conversation and feel that you can really hear honestly from them, where can I help you?
You get more value out of them as well. Don't you?
100%.
You get to understand more about them, their challenges, and could even learn from them as well.
I'm always learning from other people.
I've had quite a few people that I end up working with who one of the first things they say, I just wanted to find someone fairly down to earth to work with, who wasn't going to be like suit and tie and this is how we do it.
It's what I talk about as well, about social media. We are constantly sold to. So if somebody comes across to you as a little bit, I don't know, maybe pompous or too knowledgeable or too professional, and you just feel like, I'm just going to feel a little bit inferior in this relationship here, I'm probably not going to relate to you and want to work with you. And it's the same online with your content. If you're trying to sell everything all the time, your customers are just going to feel it's not authentic, and they're not going to buy from you or book you in. So it's just, I think nowadays we are craving even more authenticity than ever.
I think social media, talking about that, it's actually social, it's called social networking, right? But people forget that networking piece. And if you were at a networking event face to face and just started going, hey, would you like to buy my insurance services or whatever it is that you're trying to sell to them, they'd be polite and go nope. If they could scroll, they would scroll you pretty quickly, wouldn't they? And so why are we doing it online and just pitching constantly?
That's the problem with LinkedIn, isn't it?
Okay, dropping bits occasionally that are there, but you can still do it in a human way. I think it's you can still do it in a human way in selling a course or whatever it may be.
Give me my drink, please. Sorry, I've got a tickle.
That's right.
We can edit that out, can't we? Oh my God, thank you. That just came out of nowhere. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so authentic.
Product placement.
Yeah, I know, full on
You
product
can't see
placement.
it. Oh, I can't see it.
I'm
Oh,
obsessed.
no, I can't see it. Yeah, so it is. It's about being authentic, and I accept connections when I see we've got mutual connections and things like that. But the minute I accept a connection on LinkedIn, and the minute that then there's a message in my inbox selling me something, I'm just like, oh, we are 2025. Why are people still doing that? Because immediately I've switched off to you.
The reason they do it is because a percentage of
Yeah.
it will work for them. It's about, so the idea behind it is being at the right place at the right time,
Right.
and by spamming the whole world,
Yeah, you're going to get one fish to catch.
5% are going to convert into something.
Yeah.
I know, because I used to do it all the time. It's not my preferred approach nowadays, but in recruitment, that's kind of what you're taught is the way you develop business, right? You just
Clearly I'm
go
not
out
in
there and
sales.
message as many people
I
as
know.
possible, saying, "Are you
I know.
looking? I've got this candidate," and it does work to some degree. But what I realise looking back now, though, is that the clients that I developed through that approach probably weren't the nicest of clients, and there's all
Right.
these nice clients out there. I was like, I don't know how to get into them, so you keep spamming them
Yeah.
more with this stuff and getting nowhere.
Yeah.
Now when I've developed my business through an attraction approach rather than that direct outreach
Yeah.
and hammering the door down, I've got great clients that I work with, and so
Yeah,
so
'cause you've
nice
got
to
common
interact with.
ground.
Got something to talk about
Exactly.
with similar people, and it's
That's what I'm like with franchisees though as well. We're not, big spammers, we're not big chasers. We've got the funnel, we've got that through, but our funnel is very much about education, and this is what franchising is as well as what we do at diddidance. But it's about, this is a partnership, and if you're going to sign up for a minimum 5 years, you need to sort of get on with me, and I definitely need to get on with you. And so again, I wouldn't just be spamming people and going for that approach, because I'd get the wrong people. I think.
Yeah.
Never know, maybe I'll start. Just spam everyone and then hope that 5% might join me.
That's when the numbers game comes in, because the 5% might come in, and then 1% of those are going to be decent,
Yeah,
and
are
then,
they going to be right?
but there 1% will. But what it does in a franchise network is, if you take on too many of the wrong people, or any of the wrong people, actually, it becomes a headache, right?
Yeah, I feel like, and bless, touch wood, we haven't really had any issues, but I hear stories, and also there's the odd ones that you have to put an extra bit of work in, where you do, I relate it to, like, it sounds awful, like Dementors.
Right.
It's just sucking
You're lucky
your
I've started to
soul.
watch it now.
It's
Harry
just
Potter.
they're sucking the life out of you. You're there, and it's literally your soul is being sucked away, because you are giving them so much, and it's just not clicking. They're just not happy. And as I say, thank God we haven't had that. But sometimes putting so much energy into one franchisee can just be really, really draining.
It's at that point you probably need to both parties reassess,
Oh, I would
isn't
think
it? And
so.
what
Yeah.
is this worth continuing with, or do we just cut it loose? What does that look like,
100%.
and things like that?
Yeah.
Because
And that's
it's
something
no good for either
I've
party.
I've learnt that along the way as well. When you have more of a lifestyle brand that is not going to be, we've got some great management franchisees, but generally they're owner operators, and it's a lovely flexible business that works around them. And then life happens, and most of them are mums, and so they're juggling everything at home. And we've had lots of life situations come up where it's been like, oh, okay, right, so this has happened, I can't physically do everything at the moment, so I really need to walk away. And I could sit there and go, well, actually, there's this left of your franchise agreement, and you would technically owe me this. And I remember my great franchise lawyer, over the years, he would just say, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Do you want just a nice, easy, relaxed exit, or do you want a battle? And it's like, oh yeah. But sometimes you dig your heels and you think, I've got to do the right thing, I should be doing this. And then it's like, oh no, actually I don't. Yeah, okay, no, that's great. That doesn't work for you right now, right? Can we find you a buyer? Can we move on that way? Or, you know, awful things have happened, and it's like, right, it's got to be immediate closure, and fine, we'll do what we can and help them to leave. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Interesting. So what's been the, would you say 20 years in franchising now?
Probably 18 in franchising. Yeah.
18. What's been the highlight?
Oh gosh, let me think. Some of the awards, actually. I know it sounds a bit egotistical, but I think when you run a business that is dancing with toddlers,
Yeah.
you always have that conception in your mind that you're always like, oh, I'm never going to be taken seriously as a franchisor or as a business owner because I just dance around with toddlers. And so when you get certain recognition of a really nice franchise award as well, you're like, oh, okay, this is quite good what I'm doing here then. And so that helps reinforce that what you're doing is valid. It validates you as a franchisor as well. And I always like to sort of go back to the network, and so that they feel that they've made the right choice in the network as well. I'm always conscious of everything I do that is helping them feel that they made the right decision coming into the network.
Yeah, it's interesting. It kind of makes me think about what is a business owner in people's heads, you know, what is an entrepreneur and stuff like that. And I think a lot of the time in your head, you kind of go automatically to the apprentice or you know, that kind of work, not apprentice, Dragon's Den or whatever.
Well,
and you
both
think,
of them.
yeah, but you think it's all suited and all this kind of stuff, and it's serious business, all numbers and blah, blah, blah. But actually, what I've realised being in the franchising industry is that there's just a lot of businesses doing a lot of random weird stuff. But why is that less of a business than sitting there number crunching? You know, like
100%. I was,
and it's actually I found it really inspiring learning about all these different businesses. Going, wow, people are making money and having fun at the same time.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
insane.
And I think that's something I've got over as well. So yesterday I was at the House of Lords for a Women in Business event, and I attended it last year. And I did feel a little bit more confident this year, but I remember last year going into a room of women that are running global businesses, like in tech, in pharmaceuticals and medicals, and me thinking, whoa, they are like well above me. And, you know, you get chatting to them and they go, what do you do? And then you just start to shrink.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, I teach toddlers to dance. And they go, oh, that's amazing. That's so wonderful. And you're like, oh, okay. Because I suppose for them, they're probably meeting a lot of the same people in the same industries. So you meet someone different. And I said, I franchised it. And they're like, oh, sit down, tell me all about it. And you're like, oh, this is really interesting to you. Okay, brilliant. Because I think sometimes when it's not the norm, or when it's something a little bit different and a bit more creative, they love to hear about it. I sat next to an amazing woman yesterday who wants to have a meeting and do all these extra things and discuss this in early childhood. And I was just like, oh, wow, I can be taken seriously.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably the people that are in those bigger companies that have way more respect and understand that more than the I was going to say the lower people, but that's not right, is it? Like, that's not right at all. Like, but you know, the people that perhaps aren't in the business world at all in terms of being a business owner.
Yeah.
Definitely not lower people, but you know what I mean? Like,
in different industries, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Status.
That have that mindset of an entrepreneur, business owner is somebody who owns this mega multi-million pound thing, but it's so not. It's so not true. There's so many.
I think success is about, if it makes you happy and you can pay your mortgage with it, then that's always a bonus.
The financial side's important, but it's also does it bring you joy? Is it in line with your why? Does it? Yeah, it's all those things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's what I tell my kids as well. My son's 17 at the moment. We've got to start looking at universities at the end of this year, and I say to both of them, we can all change careers. Don't stress about it, but try and find something that you really enjoy, because then you'll work hard at it, you'll be successful at it, and you'll just want to work every day. It's so important. I couldn't bear getting up every day and just dreading going to work.
Yeah.
I think that would just...
Done that. It's horrible.
Yeah, it'd flatten me.
And it's not like they were a bad company or a bad job. It just wasn't for me.
It just wasn't for you. Yeah.
So, yeah. Right. Time to bang the drum for franchising.
Ooh.
You're welcome to bang the drum if you want to. There are sticks. Of course you do. Let's see what tunes you got.
There's got to be a little
Beautiful.
tune in there,
Absolutely
hasn't there? A little rhythm.
So, what would you like to turn the volume up on in franchising? What would you like to amplify about franchising?
I definitely want to turn up the volume on that business format franchising is a great way for you to become an entrepreneur. I think there's so much misconception out there that actually it is ethical franchising can help you build a business. It can turn you into an entrepreneur. And that is what I want more people to shout about.
I'm going to do the opposite, and I'm going to say to you what other people will say as the negatives about franchising.
What I want to shut down is the fact that the misconceptions of it being pyramid schemes or multi-level marketing and those types of businesses throwing in the word franchising that blurs the line. So I would like
you're saying
to
the ethical
shout.
bit, but there's another angle that I think some people look at when they look at a franchise, and they think there's too many restrictions, there's too many rules, you have to follow and stay within this square box and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So sometimes there are people out there that look at it and go, no, I don't want to follow and do what someone else is. I mean,
yeah, and I completely get that. And then franchising isn't right for them. And I don't think any industry is going to be right for everybody out there. But I think when I go into colleges and schools to talk about it, I just think if you know you want to be your own boss, but you haven't had that light bulb invention or brand new idea, that doesn't mean that being your own boss isn't an option for you now. And if you find the right, like any industry, if you find the right franchise that you're passionate about, that you're going to enjoy doing, that actually gives you creative freedom to an extent, because I think any good franchise is a partnership, and I'm not saying you should sign on the dotted line and then go, woohoo, let's go and do my own thing. Absolutely not. You're buying into a proven method for a reason, because it works. But also if that head office does evolve and keep creating new things or developing new lines, then you're involved in that process as well. When we were developing our babies classes, I didn't want it to be another sit down music class or a sensory class, because the brands doing that already are brilliant, and that's not where I want to be. I wanted it to be very much movement based. So I listened to all the franchisees. We had like a working party where we're developing ideas. Of course, then I went to early years movement specialists, child psychologists to develop it. But that core team of the franchisees were what helped me develop it. So I think if you find the right network and the right brand where you can still be creative or be heard, then that will make a difference.
That's the important thing, I think, is finding the right franchise for you, because there will be some that this is exactly how you do it and get on with it. And that will work for some people, right? Who need to be told and that's it. There'll be others who want some more flexibility and to have that back and forth with the franchisor. I think actually, sorry to say this, but the brands with less franchisees in, sometimes you got more ability to do that because
100%.
You've got access to the franchisor a lot quicker and easier. As brands get bigger, sometimes it becomes a bit of a challenge to have that one-to-one communication. But it sounds like you've got the sort of groups that take place that
and I think because we're not a massive network and there's only 4 of us at head office, but I think because I still teach and because I'm still heavily involved in the business, that I'd like to think I still have quite a good connection with everyone. There's certain elements that I don't have lots of one-to-ones with, because I also know what I'm not so good at. So all the team have their separate skills.
Yeah, I think there's some franchisees I've heard over time, not yours by the way, but they dislike when a franchisor just goes, we're bringing this product out and you've got to do this now.
Yeah.
And that's a worry, I think, for some people on the outside, is they don't want to get into it because of those reasons. I feel it can be quite restrictive.
But it's classic, almost like franchisor training, that you want to buy in, you want the franchisees to buy into what you want to do. You've got to have that two-way conversation. You've got to have that process of putting it out there.
But so I'm saying that, but I also my point of view is that actually the reason why they're rolling those things out is because they've got the franchisor typically has a higher level view and has probably engaged with franchisees over here and here, and developed and found out that idea, so that when it is rolled out, it's not just for for them, it's for everybody, right?
Yeah,
typically.
So I'm saying they've gone through the process and done it the right way, and that completely it. But yeah, you'll never please everyone. It's the same as customers. We've had some customers come in, they've come in with a 2-year-old and they've gone, oh, I was expecting a little more like Strictly Come Dancing. You're like, really? For a 2-year-old? Okay, no problem. And then you've got someone come in with another 2-year-old and gone, oh, it's a little bit full on, isn't it? Like there's so much in the 45-minute class, or it's a bit too much for them. I thought they'd just sort of jump around with pom-poms, like. So it's the same with franchisees. You're never going to please 100% of the people 100% of the time. But if you, in your heart of heart, know that you've done the process, you know it's for the greater good, you know it's going to benefit everyone, then I think you can be comfortable with that decision.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just wanted to try and challenge you a little bit and just
always.
see if we can get some different responses on that. What's the other thing I was going to say? A lot of people think about franchises. I think it's obviously the pyramid scheme one, but
always. They just think there's just one big fat cat sat at the top who's taking everybody's money.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is
come look at my bank account.
The franchisor just always skims money off the top all the time, is what a lot of people say.
Yeah,
and
100%. Just like no.
And
I'm sure there's some out there, but living the high life. But no, again, do your due diligence. Look at the brand. Look at the franchisor. Look at the way they come across, and can you relate to them, but do you feel like you can trust them as well?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Have you got a question that if you were a franchisee, you would ask a franchisor?
Let me think. No, probably not ask the franchisor. Ask another franchisee. I think always be able to speak to a franchisee in the network. If that franchisor discourages that, then that should be a little red flag for you. I'm not saying all my franchisees would big us up to the hills, but I'm saying you can speak to any. If you're thinking of joining our network, you are welcome to speak to any of them and find out exactly how they feel it's going for them. So,
here's an idea for you, and there might be some franchisors listening. Oh, we've got an aeroplane going over or something. That's cool. But anyway, so
it's a little tractor or something.
It's like a forklift truck taking the bins away or something. That's cool. So an idea can be and this is if you've got enough franchises in your network, of course, but you can introduce the prospective franchisee to a franchisee that's failing, one that's on the middle ground, and one that's doing very well, and explain to the prospect that I'm going to introduce you to one person at each level. And what you'll find is the people at the bottom, they're probably going to have some gripe with us.
Yeah.
But that's important for you to understand and learn, because then we can talk that through and understand, that scenario and how maybe we can remedy that in the future, or maybe it's their gripe is not that important to you and actually you're all right at doing sales and it's fine.
Yeah.
Listen to the person at the top. They're doing something exceptionally well and they're absolutely flying. So you can learn from them, try and learn from them. What are they doing well? So learn what the ones at the bottom aren't doing so well, what their problems are. The ones at the top, learn from them and understand what's working well for them, what would they change. And then speak to the one in the middle, because the reality is you'll probably be somewhere in the middle yourself and you'll probably get a more balanced view there. But I want you to see the full range of our network so that you can understand the full range of our network, what the boundaries are for you, so you understand it could absolutely fail at one end, it could absolutely fly at another. Reality is you'll probably be middling somewhere.
So my question for you is, how do you introduce that bottom tier franchisee to this perspective? Hello, I'd like you to meet the bottom tier franchisee. They're not very good, they're completely failing, but hey,
I would not say that to them. I would just say to the prospect.
How do you know that prospect isn't going to go, oh, it's been so good to speak to you. It's really nice to hear from a bottom tier franchisee.
I think I trust in people, and if they did that, then I probably don't want them in my network.
But they're at the prospect stage, so they don't care. And then you've got this franchisee feeling a little bit disheartened or unappreciated.
Maybe that's a good point.
Only
I've not thought
because
of that, but it's
I throw that out there because we've just decided, as the network gets bigger, we have them. Oh, and it's so funny what wording can do. So we set up 3, I suppose, like accountability groups. You all hold each other to account. You've got your own little online group, but meetups and things like that. And there's one member of head office team in there. I'm not in any of them. But we first of all called them support groups. But a couple of people didn't like that because, you feel like we need support. Well, no, everybody's in one. We just wanted you to feel like you were supporting each other and yourselves. And also you have got someone from head office in there that can support you. So we didn't like that. So I think I can't remember, I think we just call them, we've got 3 characters in our logo. I think it's literally the Diddy Davy group, the Diddy Danny group and the Diddy Daisy group, because it was just all these words we banded about. Somebody didn't feel comfortable with it. So wording is really, really important, isn't it?
I mean, off the cuff there, I don't think I did a good job, obviously. But the idea behind it, I think,
100%.
is solid because it gives them the full range of what's going on in the network.
100%,
But you're right, words mean saying things in the right way.
They're powerful, aren't they? And you can turn a franchisee like that if you word something wrong and they feel undervalued by that. It's like, I think I was on a call with a franchise consultant once, and they were saying about, you do this, and actually, so much percentage of your network is here, they're like your red traffic light. You sort of like, they're going to take up lots of your time, so you sort of like almost disregard them, and then you really focus on the middle ones to get them higher achieving, and your high achievers give them lots of praise and lots of support. And I was just like, for me, because I didn't know how you would word that in a positive way that people would feel like that. So it was more about them coming together either on the length of journey they're on, or financially they're all in the same sort of turnover. Whatever it was about them supporting each other, not us giving you, we're not going to give you as much support because actually, you're not performing very well and we'll probably just help you exit. That is not what we're about at all. So I go against the grain on that because I know from a business point of view, lots of people would advise against that.
But you can have both views on it. So there's the human element, and I think they are humans. You need to consider them as humans and treat them like that. But also remember from a business perspective as well that sometimes you do need to be. It'll help you to make decisions, the right decisions, I guess, perhaps. Yeah,
I think everybody needs different. I keep using support, but they don't want it to be support. But everybody needs a different level of hand-holding. But regardless of whatever stage they're at, we've got some. Their revenue is through the roof, and some of them get on with it and it's quite happy, and then some of them are just like, right, okay, I want more, I need more, and so you actually are giving them a lot extra work. And so, but equally at the lower financial performing level, you are there going, what, users, what do you need help with? And when we did that almost training, or I was on that webinar, I said to the team, I said, I just don't think that's the case. And we did a lot of extra, we always do one-to-one support and all of that anyway, but we almost put some extra time in to the lower earners, not that they were working any less, but to see where is it that you feel you need the extra support. And we were pushing their revenue up by 10-20%. It was actually going against what we'd been advised to do. So I felt quite smug about that, actually.
Nice. So what would you like to turn down about volume, about franchising?
Just the misconceptions. I think it's again a sort of turning up on more education and more knowledge on what franchising, business format franchising ethically is, and turn down the volume on people banding the word franchise out there when it isn't what we do in the UK for franchising, for example. So turn that down. Stop people rambling on about franchising like it is a pyramid scheme, or saying their pyramid scheme is a franchise when it's not.
Do you think maybe we do it disservice by keep on saying that? And I'm asking because I say it as well. Like as an industry, do we say too many people think it's a pyramid scheme too often?
Yeah, possibly. But I think as an industry, we don't educate people enough on it. I think there's a few of us that do. And I think more franchisors are seeing the benefit of just talking about, because I think we were all drummed in so much of sell your franchise. Don't talk about what franchising is in general. Tell them what your business offering is and how wonderful it is. Whereas actually, because I think it was probably lockdown where we put out a whole video series of just, I'm not here to talk about diddidance. I'm here to talk about what franchising is and what you should be looking for in general in a franchise, and what should be a red flag or anything like that. And I think if we all as an industry and every association and group could do a lot more education on what franchising is, I think a lot more people in the public would understand it better, and then naturally those misconceptions will start to fade, or turn the volume down on.
I think people are trying.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people trying, but sometimes I do think, ooh, do you know what I mean? Because it can be quite dull as a topic. Like when I tell my friends or people that I meet, I do stuff in franchise, and I'm like, whatever, it's boring. And I'm like, I try and explain it, and then it's just. So that's why I try and use a little bit of a story about the two mountains that I shared with Fiona earlier. Was it Fiona? Emma? I can't remember who I said it to. The two mountains. It's you, wasn't it, Emma? Yeah.
I'm glad you picked up on that, because imagine you were like, yeah, it was me, but I didn't really pay attention.
I went confidently there as well.
It was me.
Yeah, it was me. And he's going, okay, tell me it back. And you're like...
But those little sort of storytelling approaches, or with some form of entertainment into it, is the way that it is better. So I think what you do well is you put a lot of fun, entertaining, funny content out there, and then occasionally drop in the franchise stuff, and actually it's your, like when you do your day outs and things like that, it's still just you being you, but part of your day and your life is being in and around the franchising world, and it's a good way to educate is by, like we've said before, being the fun, open, friendly person, and then come in with the info stuff as part of it, rather than straightforward. If people can relate
to you, then they're going to listen to what you've got to say.
Rather than going, this is why franchising's great. Here's 5 reasons why it's great. And
I just don't think any algorithm is going to push out franchising content to that extent. But also, I just don't think a lot of people are probably Googling franchising, or say go to one of the franchise associations and look for a franchise opportunity. So it is that, so what we used to love is a job site used to have a franchising area.
Yeah.
And so whenever someone was looking for a job, it would ping up an education piece on, have you thought about franchising? You can be your own boss and do this. That was wonderful. And we had so many inquiries through that, because in our industry, dancers or performers or things like that, franchising wasn't on their radar, and they were like, what? It's not something I'm going to ever look for, but I'm going to look for a dance teaching job and then be like, and what's this? What? I could do my own one. So there's that sort of way as well, I think.
That's advertising at the point where people are thinking about changing something in their life, in their career.
Yeah.
And so that's why one idea or one approach you can take when recruiting franchisees is to tell them how to change their life into what they want.
Yeah.
So try and capture those people at the point where they're making that decision. So if you're, let's go down the dance route, if you're a frustrated dancer, here's 5 ways that you can improve your life and do it, do something better.
Yeah.
And it might be manage upwards, or go and find a better company, or start a franchise, or start your own dance class
Yeah.
or whatever it is, and that's it. You kind of feed it into a broader
There's some
part.
teaching websites that do that brilliantly that we're listed on, and we always try and do a little push as you're coming towards, teachers generally have to give like a term's notice to leave. So when you're coming to the end of one term, you try and start putting out a bit more content of, are you coming to that summer term? Are you thinking that's the time where I'm done with this? And some of the teaching websites do that really well. Are you thinking of leaving teaching? Well, here's a load of opportunities out there. It doesn't have to. You've got so many transferable skills. You can look at this, to this, to this. Oh, and a franchise and this. Yeah, definitely. When people are looking towards the end of term where they're probably burnt out and fed up of all the SATs and exams and paperwork and all of that, they're like, oh, I'm over this. So what could I do where
What's
I
the
could
other
get the
options?
reward?
Yeah.
But still work with children, but not have all of that headache.
Yeah. I think that's thinking about it. That's where I'd like to see the BFA do work, is try and get in with Indeeds and things like that, and just say to them, get that area back, because I think
it was so valuable,
mega,
valuable. Yeah.
Right. We've pretty much run out of time, so I've got to ask you my last question. So I know I'd not given you much time to prepare for this one.
I know, but I did have a good think.
Get in. Well done. What song would be your song? Like, what describes you best? And the reason I'm asking this is because I'm building the franchise jukebox on my website. It's a Spotify list where I've got recommendations from people around franchising about what they think songs relate to franchising, but I want to build that out even more with guests on the franchise podcast to bolster it out, and so we can hear a little bit about you in musical style.
So what I did is, there's so many songs out there with the word dance in it, so I did a little search on my Apple Music. Other streaming platforms are available, and there was a few that came up. You've got Dua Lipa from Barbie movie and all of those, but the one that stood out to me was Dance With Me, Dizzy Rascal.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I love it.
That is me and Diddy Dance down to a T, because I think he's brilliant. It's a really upbeat track. Obviously, it's talking about dancing with me. That's what I want people to do. So, yeah, easy one.
Oh, awesome. So good. Anne-Marie, thank you so much for coming along. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you as always, and I'm sure I'll see you at another event soon, or my social, or whatever it is.
There'll be something where I'm high kicking or TikToking. You know that.
For sure, yeah. I've still managed to avoid the TikToks.
Yeah, you really have.
Oh, cool. Right, I've got a little something for you as well.
Ooh,
Just say
thank you.
Little goodie bag.
A sloppy seconds gift.
Yeah, that's it. Everyone got one, sorry.
Oh.
I know,
Right.
I was gonna hide mine
So
then.
I'm sloppy seconds, and I just got the same gift. No, always
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
that on
Anne-Marie.
a Friday.
So you
Thank
said
you.
Cheers.
from the... Is that you there?
Oh,
Yeah, we were
look at
looking-
you.
we were looking it up
Oh
when
my
you were-
God, I'm so sweaty.
I know, so hot, love you.
We've gone with that being your chin there.
We were like, it's
That's
definitely
me.
her.
Yeah. There's one where
Which
we're
one?
all in lines and we're marching through and we all do a high kick and it zooms in
Oh,
on me
okay,
and my
yeah.
crotch on that thing. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Did you get chicane up?
No, I couldn't
Yes,
remember the
awesome,
name of the
great.
track.
Don't give up. Oh, don't give it up. Don't give it up.
Yeah.
It's quite funny at the moment actually, because obviously Nick Chicane is bad mouthing Calvin Harris for his latest song, which does totally sound like a chicane track. Dun, 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 dun. Chicane.
I wasn't planning on saying the whole thing, but I found it really interesting.
Bless you.
No, I
That's
found
like she's
it
still
really.
there.
Honestly, I
She's
found
got to
it
hit the
really
M25.
interesting. I was like, this is really
Yeah.
fascinating.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that, 'cause
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to get to with it.